not at all how I realized I'm like, I know I'm saying that's probably wrong. Okay,
it's
cool.
But it's a bit of a tricky one. So I'm excited to talk about all this juicy stuff.
Me too. We still got a bunch of people coming in. I don't want to get started. Usually I got about 50 people in here, so I'll give it a minute. We're pretty early still. There's Kenneth. What up, Kenny? How's it going, man? Yeah, I'm really, I love too what you brought up about, because that's what I'm really realizing and been talking a lot about is my daughter. 1 second. This is what I'm worried about. Hey, give me a hug.
Hi. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining.
Oh, sorry, guys.
That's all right. I'll probably have a dingo jumping across my face or something in a minute.
Okay. Just got my daughter going to bed right now. Hello from California. Okay, what was I saying? Oh, I loved what you were talking about. How we're supposed to be our energy when we're like living with what the food we're growing and the like completely immersing ourselves in our environment kind of with energetically.
In this dreaming, sometimes that's a bit
of well, the especially the Kundalini energy and the collective consciousness.
Yeah. So the dreaming, the collective consciousness. So you guys might have all heard, that we're one consciousness. And sometimes that's a bit of a hard thing to grasp when we're in our ego. But a lot in the ancient world, it's a lot about what we call the dream time and the dreaming. You might have heard that, especially in Australian Aboriginal stories, in Native American stories, it's about this collective dreaming that's happening. And in this dreaming, in this dream state is how we create the reality around us. So what we're thinking, what we're visualizing, what we're feeling, most importantly, because our emotions are so super powerful, that transpires into the reality around us. So in a collective way, our dreaming is creating, like the things that we're all dreaming together because we're all connected, is creating our reality today. And the foods, like tying into the foods that you're saying, the foods that we're eating are affecting us in our emotions. So the pigs that we're eating, the steaks that we're eating, like how those animals being handled, like the fear that they go through before you eat that food, and how that actually incorporates into the fear that we have.
Exactly. Okay. Okay. God. You go lay in bed. I'll come see you in bed.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's hard these days with what we need to eat, and you can clean your food with energy, but collectively, it's interesting. I used to eat pig when I was little, and when I was about 5 years old, and I would have the worst nightmares. Like I would have nightmares for days on end, horrible nightmares of even being the pig, because when we're children, we're a lot more open to all the channels. And it really made me realize what we're eating affects us, like that vibration in that food comes into us. Yeah. So it's pretty crazy. So, I mean, just eat organic where you can, free range, look for animals that have been treated in the right way. Yeah.
Yeah, I realized I had become, because I've been fasting and kind of just stopped eating meat intuitively for like 6 years. Because it would just make me, I just feel bad. I could tell it just wasn't good for me. Especially, and I know that's what like I always see the videos of how animals are treated. And yeah, you imagine taking that much suffering, that much fear and pain, like you're taking that energy into yourself.
Yeah.
And that can cause, and like that in itself can cause all kinds of disease.
Disease, exactly. Yeah, disease in the body. So our environment around us, the things that we're eating, and tying back into the ancestral times, like, and we were talking about hunting, is that those animals were happy animals. They're brought up in the wild. They're connected to nature, and when you eat that animal, you're taking on that energy, that vibration, that high vibration, and especially when you're eating the organs as well. And Native people would use that a lot too, as medicine, as honoring that animal and taking on the attributes of that animal.
Yeah. No, that's crazy. Now, yeah, and I was telling you a story about how I went hunting this earlier this kind of fall. And intuitively, like it wasn't really planned. We got this elk, and I think just in the moment, me and another guy, we were skinning it and just decided to eat take a bite out of I think it was the liver. And then the third guy that was with us decided to take a bite out of it too. And I was like, to show up, like, I feel like that is like giving back to as honor to taking on that energy of that animal and like giving honor to that animal is part of, I don't know, I could tell that it was all part of a ceremony that was playing out.
That's so cool you've done that. I've hunted a lot as well, and people are like, how can you hunt animals, But it actually gives you appreciation into the circle of life, and you don't want to eat meat as much. Like you have reverence for life when you actually do something like that.
If we are eating meat, that is how it should be done. The way we're eating meat now, you should feel like, well, first of all, I always tell people never feel guilty. Try not to feel, you should shield yourself from feeling guilty or shame or bad about anything you do. We should be conscious of what we're eating, but we don't want to feel bad or feel sad or feel guilty, because those are lower vibrations. That lowers our electromagnetic field. That makes us more susceptible to all sorts of other things. We want to keep ourselves feeling good about ourselves, never feeling bad about what we're eating, what we're doing, and not negatively motivating ourselves, always positively motivating ourselves and keeping us saying like, okay, I can eat better. I'm making this choice. I'm going to make better choices. Here's how and start planning. But never, what I see what happens a lot is I just always am seeing people getting down, like, because it feels like there's so much of a shift you have to change and so much stuff you have to change all at once, but it's not. It's like you're exactly perfect right now, always. And like, just live in the moment. You're doing fine. Just always be conscious of like, who are you? What are your goals? What are you working for? And we're always here. We should be trying to have fun, not feeling bad about ourselves, right?
Yeah, and we've got to work best in what environment we're dealt with. Like, they're hard times. It's hard to find purity and good food and good water and like a safe environment in what the system's delivered to us. So we just need to make small choices every day in the best way that we can, and find that higher energy. And I guess that's how this ties into the Kundalini,